all agree with me that we have had really an inspiring 2 days event. I have learned a lot personally, and I can't emphasize more the fact that Africa is indeed biomass rich. This is really, really interesting to know. So on behalf of icipe, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for engaging with us at this first East African Bioeconomy Conference, which we have been holding virtually since yesterday. As the Director General of icipe, Dr. Seganet Kelemo, mentioned in her opening remarks, we have been able to still showcase this very important meeting despite the difficulties of COVID-19. And clearly, digital technology has enabled us to meet and share our vision and strategies for a sustainable bioeconomy in Africa. We have had some bit of challenges at the early hours of it using the digital technology, but despite that, what comes out clearly from this conference is that combining digital technology and bioeconomy is a clear development pathway that will enable us to leapfrog our growth and economic development in the continent. Several players came together in the last couple of days, including government officials, scientists, innovators, entrepreneurs, civil society actors, and many more to discuss a strategy for sustainable bioeconomy development in Eastern Africa. It was clear that sustainable bioeconomy is a means for Africa to contribute to the UN Sustainable Development Goals 2030, and of course to the development and aspiration of the African Union Agenda 2063, as well as the Science, Technology, Innovation, and Innovation Strategy for Africa 2024. It came out clearly that a sustainable bioeconomy that offers many opportunities for Africa for us to diversify our economy and ensure participation of all sections, including women and youth. So we are indeed biomass rich. I learned a lot that through bioeconomy, we can transform our food systems. There are several technological innovations that can support our industries, urban biosystems and the issue of waste management, and several more that have already been highlighted shortly ago by Dr. Obukosi. At icipe, we are committed to a vision of a sustainable bioeconomy in Africa that harnesses our investment in scientific research and capacity building. Of course, that's our strength, and which promotes innovation to deliver products that are not just environmentally friendly and safe, but of course, healthy. We look forward to building partnerships with governments to put in place enabling legislation for a successful deployment of bio-based inventions and solutions. And we want to collaborate a lot with private sector, which is one of the key elements of BioInnovate, and to attract investment into the sustainable bioeconomy in Africa. We are going to make partnership central to everything we do. That have been highlighted a lot in various sessions. And in doing this, we will be collaborating with regional economic blocs, such as the East Africa Community, the African Union Commission, the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, and other partners like the European Commission. And this will follow up very, very closely in the coming years. As we wind up, two important recommendations that I could think of throughout the discussion is the need for an implementation plan. It's one thing to have a very nice strategy, which we have at the moment, but if we cannot measure what is in that strategy and a clear delivery path, I think we will have not achieve what we want to achieve. I was really, really pleased by the presentation of Dr. Ben Durham from South Africa in terms of highlighting those matrices, and we need to learn from that if we have to develop the implementation plan. Dr. Bukosa already mentioned the need for policy alignment, harmonization of standards across the region. If this is not done, we are always going to continue to struggle. There are clear bio-based products that are there that can address issues at the regional level, but stringent regulations within countries have hampered a lot of movement of some of these bio-based products. Classical example, for instance, is the fall armyworm and locust invasion that we have had. But some countries within the region wouldn't allow simple biopesticides to be taken from one country to another because of regulations. So if we don't harmonize our standards within the region, this will continue to hinder our progress. A lot have been said in terms of investment plans. At the ministerial session, I was pleased to hear from the Honorable Eloida from Uganda, how Uganda is putting some investment already into science and technology, and how this will channel into bioeconomy-related projects and activity in the country. Other countries need to learn from this. So unlocking capital flows into this is going to help us a lot. I do recall the closing remark of Professor Ignace Gattari at the ministerial session with regard to sustainability, and that have also been highlighted a lot in this session. So we have to think about sustainability. Then there was something that was very interesting, although at the opening, Professor Van Braun told us that bioeconomy is not a sector. But hearing Dr. Ben from South Africa, he said we should think about systems approach. So how we harness and bring all these attributes from various sectors into one flow is something that I will encourage us to think and consider as we look forward to developing the implementation plan. Secondly, there is the need for us to think about extending this regional approach, not just from Eastern Africa, but to other African parts of Africa. West Africa, I think, is still maybe lagging behind. How do we bring them on board? How do we learn from South Africa? Because they've made a lot of advances. So all these things have to be coordinated at some point at the continental level. And last but not least, this is not the end of it. This is the first of an important Eastern Africa Regional Conference. I'm happy to hear that already the organizers, as Dr. Bolo mentioned, are thinking of future in terms of more of this kind of meetings. It is through this kind of meetings and partnership and networking that we will be in a position to know what is happening across various countries and across the continent. So I really look forward for our next meeting, and I'm hoping that we will even have a lot more participation. It was mentioned that nearly about over 70 people could be seen on Zoom and various platforms that we were using. I believe that in subsequent meetings, we are likely to even have more. We thank our partners, the East African community, through the East African Commission for Science and Technology, the Stockholm Environment Institute, and several other partners for your partnership in making this conference a success. Last but not least, I want to sincerely thank CEDA for supporting our effort. As much as we continue to look for more donors to come on board, the support of CEDA have been really, really amazing. And we can't thank you more. Thank you guys, thank you everybody for your patience, for your full participation, And please don't forget this as we work very hard to beat COVID on the continent of Africa. Thank you. Back to Maurice.